Okay, so this is the beginning of 9.2, and that at that. This is what I was worried about the notational things. I've never seen this in any book. I'm going to keep this real light on, when we have the test when we come back. I still will expect you to, at least be able to do something on this. So, very strange, though. Maybe not necessarily this one, but I like the example because it does try to remind you of stuff you should remember, and actually from grade school. So, if the line M represents the equation x equals -3, what is the graph of the image? Okay, well, let's hold off there. Let's remind you what x equals -3 is. What x equals -3 is a vertical line that goes through -3 on the x-axis. That's another way of knowing how do I draw a vertical line and how do I draw a horizontal line. I'm just going to put off to the side here as y equals, let's pick a number. Okay, someone said 2, I think, out in that's my friends in my head. What's wrong? Y equals 2 is a horizontal line through 2 on the y-axis. So horizontal line, vertical line. Well, we're dealing with x equals -3 as a vertical line. We're going to do something with that. Ooh, what's going to go on with this? Okay, so done with that little review. Let me get rid of that horizontal line that came out of my friend in my head told me that. So what is this? Well, hopefully you remember that that's composition format or symbol from when we were dealing with functions. A little different way here. So, and if you remember composition, you do this first, then this second. So if you remember, it was f of g of, let's say, 2. You do g of 2 first, get a number, then you'd f of that. That's when you were doing, the number kind of situation. That was our final. Just trying to make the point that you do this first and then this second. And then what that means is that's a dilation by a factor of 1 or 1/2 of 1/2. Yeah, text, I gotta be curious. All right. And then this means rotate about M. So rotate, not rotate, reflect. Bad dogs. Reflect. Having quite a day today. Reflect about M. So it's just a weird way of writing it. M is this x equals -3. So I should have done this before with you, and we can write this off to the side. And basically, you know what I've done? I've taken these interactive lessons that you can access in your book, but I'm just explaining them. If you wanted to hit the buttons and see these, you'll see it. So let's do the dilation first. I didn't show this in class, and I meant to say this in this example here, where I could take the coordinates and dilate them by 1/2, but maybe not so much when we have that situation. Yeah, actually. So how do I dilate this figure by 1/2? You can take 1/2 of all the coordinates. What's 1/2 of -2? -1. What's 1/2 of 8? 4. That is B prime. So this is another reason why I wanted to show this. Then you'll see when I connect the dots, you can see that the image actually looks half the size of the original. And we probably could do this where, sure, here's from the origin, and that's also what that means. The origin is the points, the center point of the dilation. That is, half the distance from the origin where that point is. So really good stuff here. 1/2 of 0 is 0. 1/2 of 10 is 5. And then 1/2 of 2 is 1. 1/2 of 4 is 2. So 1, 2. But look at that image. You can see that image, these lines are parallel. So that parallel feature that I taught you today, you can see that figure does look like half the size of the other one. So kind of an easy thing to do now when you think of this coordinately. And that's how I'm going to approach the next couple examples. All right. And then, so the dilation by 1/2 is done, and I did it by just looking at the picture on and the coordinates, and then taking 1/2 of all the coordinates. This works for all dilations when the origin is the point of, the center point. we can do that. So those dilations, I could have done that in class today. All right, let's get over it. Then the reflection, I shouldn't have called that B prime yet because we weren't done. Now this is B prime because now I'm going to reflect. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now that's where C prime is. So I should erase these, although it's probably going to erase some other stuff. It wasn't done yet, so I shouldn't have called those the final answer. This is a combination or a composition of dilations, which is sort of a combination. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So really going to limit the test questions to these kind with a coordinate plane. Really is good with working with a coordinate plane and knowing how that happens. Okay, so you can see the dilation by a factor of a half, and then the reflection over the x equals -3 line. And good review too.